she's performing there. And he said, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by performing? And she said, well, you remember when your sister used to sing around the house and everything? She says, well, she's a singer. She's really a singer, and she's performing with James Brown. And he was just like, oh my God, he could not believe it.
I stepped out on faith and I gave my notice. And I'm crying, y'all, because I gave my heart and my soul on that job. Because that was my passion. And sometimes our passion is really not our calling. It's just a passion.
When they say when it rains, it pours. It poured, but I didn't realize that the pour was on purpose. The pour was actually moving stuff out the way, moving people out of my path that didn't belong in my circle anymore.
Jesus loves me. For the Bible tells me so. And he looked at me, he was like, this little girl, how old is she?
He said, this little girl can sing. Look,
This little girl can sing.
Yeah.
This is your girl, Minister Nakita Davis, the proud CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. And I'm so excited tonight. You are tuning in to another amazing episode of Success Leaves Clues. And I've got my girl, Canila, just here. She is going and glowing and just blowing up all over the place. Hey, Queen.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm super excited to have you here just to kind of have a bird's eye view of what God is doing in your life in this season. It's just amazing. And I just had to have you here so that you could drop these clues for these queens, especially for the queens that are maybe newer entrepreneurs, where you can really speak to their heart and encourage them in this season. But first of all, tell them a little bit more about you and what you do, who you serve. So just tell them about Canila.
Hey, y'all. My name is Canila. I am a motivational speaker and the author of Your Story Matters, which is coming out in 2021. I help people with traumatic experiences, domestic violence, verbal abuse, people who basically need to learn how to heal, forgive, and rediscover their voice. To be able to assist them with their motivational coaching, I come up with a strategic way to help them improve to be a better version of them.
Love it, Queen. Love it, Queen. And you are just all over the map. First of all, I believe I caught wind that you've got some upcoming projects and things that you're doing. So I just want to say kudos and congrats to you. But let's talk real quick to the queens, right? It's really all about, most of the women who are watching this are women of faith. Either they aspire to be authors, speakers, or girl bosses, meaning, operating their own businesses, or they're already doing it. But maybe they're watching this and they feel like they're in a season of stuck, or they feel like they're in a season of just can't get ahead, COVID-19 and just all the other things that life brings. What are some of the tips you have found to your success over the last 6 months? What are some of the big rocks that you would share with them today?
I will first of all say keep God first no matter what it look like. When God places a gift inside of us, I would say just persevere, talk it through, and just keep, my thing is affirmation. I always speak daily affirmation because I know what God said, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Whatever you speak, you have to be careful what you speak. You decree and declare today, say, Lord, I know you're going to make me a wealthy woman, God. You're going to give me divine connections. I can honestly say when I first started doing that beginning of this year, maybe in June, God started bringing divine women around my circle. He started giving me the right connections where I need to grow and coaching with different people. I would say Tony Gassels was my first coach, Shirley Clark, and of course Nakita Davis. and Christina. Just I always learned that always, no matter when you have hard times or hardships, always keep God first. Believe in your dream. Never give up what you want to do in your life, because you never want to go back until you get older, or you tell your grandkids, I wish I could have done this, or I wish I could have done that. This is your time to persevere, even during COVID-19, to push forward. Whatever God has for you, go for it. No matter if you down to your last dime. I have heard people, successful people, Tyler Perry, other people say when they were homeless, they didn't have anything, but they knew the faith of God. When you have the faith of God and you know that he has gave you a vision, trust and believe God will bring it to pass, because he said in his word, his word will not come back void. So trust God. I know if he did it for me and I had no plans on having the business, getting connected to the right people, or writing a book, or vending or starting my own clothing line, it was all because the power of God. No matter how my finances may have looked at right then, but God will always turn it around. So just trust him.
That's so good, Queen. But you are so right. And it sounds, when people can listen to you, it sounds easy in that moment, like for you to for us to say to them, that woman who may feel broken, that woman who may feel like her dreams she's watching them slip through her fingers because of just life circumstances, financial circumstances, and just life in general, to trust God. But it is so true. That's where the real trusting comes in, because it's easy to trust when everything is honky-dory. It's easy to trust when the sun is shining and the birds are chirping, and it's just all smiles all day, and that's beautiful. But you and I both know, Queen, that that's just not reality. The word never said that each day was going to be easy for us, that each day was going to go just without a hiccup. But it did say that he promised to never leave us or forsake us, and that we got to trust him, because he does know the plans that he has for us. And I'm so glad that even during the storms or financial situations when you didn't know where the money was coming from, God still purposed you and pushed you into your purpose. And now you're blessing women, and just whoever has ears to hear about your story matters. So tell us more about that and where that came from. How did that concept arrive in your mind, in your heart, and what are you doing with that concept now?
Okay, so let me tell you guys how I first got started. So last year, God had led me to go to a vision board party. And I went to this vision board party. I was so inspired. I just knew during that season, before I went to the vision board party, I went through a horrible breakup last year. Just horrible. I was at a dark state. I was trying to find answers in my purpose. So once I gave all my issues to God, let that go, God led me to a vision board party. I kept having these dreams and stuff like that to do wonderful work for God. So when I went to the vision board party, I seen this speaker who spoke about how God was able to use her. And I told him I had a purpose to write a book, because I already knew that God wanted a book for me to write. I just didn't know how to get started, how to do it. And at that time I was in college. I just finished school this year, March of 2020, in psychology. Yeah, so because I love helping people, I always been that person. But getting back to how I started, that vision board party changed my whole life. And when God leads you to do something, he always have a plan and a purpose of why he wants you to do it. Sometimes he can show us a vision, but we might not see the light to the end of the tunnel. If you ever see my book cover, you will see how it look. You will see it's a group of women running to the end of the tunnel of the light. Okay, so doing that, I went to the vision board party. Like I said, again, it changed my life. So a couple months later, I forgot all about what God wanted me to do. And I went on this cruise in February for my graduation gift to Jamaica and to Cayman Island. On that cruise, God kept just speaking to me, write the book, write the book. And I was like, man, I don't want to write no book. I ain't writing for that. I had other plans to go to DC, work for the government. That was just my plan. But how many know that God can turn that around? So I said, God, there's something better than this. I don't know what you're doing with me. It was just something on that cruise where it was breathtaking. I've never been out the country. So it was like a culture shock. I was like, oh my God, look at the ocean. I ain't never seen this water move. For me, it was just a blow away. I'm just going to be honest with you, because I never went out the country. It was just phenomenal. And when I got back from that cruise, I said, God, I'm sitting at this job and I'm sitting here all day just starting a new job that everybody working, but I'm sitting at my desk not doing that for like 3 or 4 months until COVID-19 happened. Had a dream, a vision one day, write the book. He showed me a vision. I ain't gonna tell everything, but pretty much write the book. And I went from there, started writing it. I wrote that book less than 3 weeks. Just by me sitting at my desk, starting a new job, still getting paid on the clock. You know, they're telling me, oh, we're going to get with you in a second. We just have these issues coming up because I worked at a hospital during the time. We have these issues coming up. You know, we got to get this money out. I'm like, okay, I'm staying over here. So I start, like I said, writing a book. And then when I start writing a book, I advise anybody, don't be quick to help and get everything rushed and done when writing a book, trying to rush it pretty much. Make sure you take your time and do it as God leads you to do it. But even while writing the book, God still allowed me to connect with certain coaches, going through the process. And I had started a panel show in May, and a panel show in June. July, I started getting connected to a queen. And from there, it went so far, so good. And I started doing coaching. And this purpose, it was elevation. Every month, it seemed like I was elevating. God wanted me to elevate speedily and do it that way. So that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book, is to give back to God people, because I always knew that somebody got a story. I don't care if you were in prison, you were gay, you were stripper, prostitute, gay. I have been around all those people. Everybody has a story why they come from something. Then my background is childcare. Seeing teens go through so much of a substance, or they lost a loved one, or they been raped. Hearing their story really inspired me to come up with Your Story Matters. If you ever see the cover of my book, it say how God turned my mess into a butterfly. Your story matters, because everybody has a story. You have a story. I have a story. We all on this earth have a story that we can relate to.
That's so good, Queen. I love that. You know, a lot of times in our darkest moments, the first thing we want to cry out to the Lord is for him to either stop it, remove it, take it away, just anything where you don't have to deal with it. And I think that's just so beautiful. I love that, because he will take the mess, he'll take the message, he'll take your story, and he can give it wings. God can give it wings to fly. But it's only when we realize who he is and who he's purposed us to be, that story, that hardship, that downfall in season, quote unquote, that the world would say is a failure, God wants to take that and make it a launching pad for your success, a launching pad for your greater, a launching pad for his glory. And I'm so glad that you didn't just allow it to go to waste, because you could have. Some people just went, oh, well, it's just a coinky dink. It's a no. Our God is so good and so intentional. Nothing he does is a winky dink. Nothing he does is, oh, it's a happenstance. No, he's strategic. And the sooner we begin to think like that, think like our Father, strategic, with intentionality, when we do things and how we connect. It doesn't mean you're cold and calculating and everything has to be like this just big puzzle piece, but it does mean that you're intentional in the way that you move, you're intentional in the way that you serve, so that you can get the outcome that you're looking for. So I'm so glad to see that growth, and to be able to see you just win and shine. It does my heart so good to see that. I'm just like a atta girl, you know, just like, just do it. I mean, that's why I represent for my queens, because I just love to see my queens glow and grow and just go from glory to glory, or go from just victory to victory, giving God the glory along the way. So talk to me about some of the obstacles you've had, right? From a financial standpoint, because you'll hear people say that, you know, well, my money, my XYZ. What have you physically done to get yourself financially ready to take opportunities and to move when God says move? How can you help women who say, well, my money, I don't have any money. So money is the issue. Most people say money. Either they say time or money, but God is the maker of everything, including time and money, heavens and the earth. So share with them, encourage them how you were able to eliminate some of those excuses as it came to investing in Canila, investing in Your Story Matters.
Okay, so God always taught me how to save money. Even I don't care if it was one job I did at 7 years, I made maybe $200 a week. I'll always say $30 or $40 and build up on top of that. So there's some knowledge that I have about saving. I always been taught as growing up, always saving money for a little bit of cushion. You know, a lot of people say that. So when it came down to this year, even when my money got tight or I invested all my money into a project or a coach, but when I invested, I always did my background on that person, or just, you know, because people want to know before they pay something, they want to know what you about, what you done been through, okay, who she know. You know, I do my research before I invest. But when God is leading me to do something, one thing I know about God, he will never lie. So I can say so far this year, I have invested a lot of money. I'm not gonna say how much, but a lot of money. But I can honestly say it's been worth it because I made that money back. And it's all about how you manage your finances. Yes, I had it like this week or 2 or 3 weeks. I had to pull back from eating. You gotta put things down. Okay, you gotta save your little $5 or $6 and learn how to invest in your future. You look at the people or different cultures, you will see they already know they might be going to work eating tuna sandwich or something, or some little bags of chips, and they could be a millionaire, billionaire. You never know. I have seen it in my own eyes as working in one of my old employments. But I would say for me, it's all about every time I get paid, I put a little to the side. Oh, I know how to invest or flip it, or because I do my own clothing line and make that money back and invest in my future, especially if I know it's worth it and I've seen outcome and results with that person, whoever I invested in. I know I'll get it right back because I know they're going to give me the tools I need to be able to succeed in myself, in my business. And I feel like when we invest in ourselves, that it's a need, I'm going to take the skills I need to learn in order for me to succeed my business. And all the coaches I have had this year that had gave me wisdom and knowledge, and everybody has their own way of doing strategic ways of thinking different ways. But I could honestly say that all the tools that I have learned, I have built on that. That caused me to become stronger. They caused me how to communicate with people, customers. Because sometimes, even now, not even that, well, back then, I would get my feelings sometimes about certain things. But I would say, always invest in your future and keep going.
That's so good. I hope y'all picking up these clues that this queen is giving you. She said save. She said even if it was $5 or $6, if you're still working a full-time job or a part-time job, she said it's okay to eat a tuna sandwich. You don't have to eat out at whatever your favorite restaurant is every day. Honey, make yourself a PB&J. Why? Because you know the vision and the calling that God has placed over your life is worth the PB&J today, because God is getting ready to set you up. Before you know it, you'll be eating lobsters and shrimp in Jesus' name. Come on. I mean, that's if you want to, because I do believe that you should be able to enjoy yourself. I know some people get very anal with the savings where they never spend, but that's not living either. You got to be able to live and enjoy, but you got to say it's called sacrifice. You got to sacrifice. What's more important, me eating pizza every day, or me and being able to save so I can get the software I need for my business to run more seamlessly, or for me to be able to invest in the coach or the program or whatever it is I need to level up in this season? You have to ask yourself that. So I love that. I also heard this queen say, and I hope y'all picking up these clues, she said she did her research, her due diligence. I told another queen this. I mean, the word clearly says we perish because of lack of knowledge. We have the world literally at our fingertips. That's why we're here communicating with you now. We're in 2 different states in the U.S. We're communicating. You're somewhere completely different. Women are participating in this all over the United States, from East Coast to West Coast to Midwest and international, outside of the continent. Not just out of the country, but out of the continent. We in a totally different hemisphere, and they're able to participate and pour into you. So technology is there. Finding out information is at your fingertips. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do your due diligence on anyone or any product or any service. And if you can't find anything, then that's your answer too. Because there's no business that's a reputable business that you should not be able to reach around and find them online. So be smart with that. So I heard that queen say that. I heard her say step out on faith. And just be willing to invest. You've got to. I've definitely spent, like you said, some, I don't even know, honey. I mean, I'm sure if I go look at my books, I mean, I know my book of business. I can look and find out, but I know I have spent 5 figures or more this year into my business. And I know there's some queens that have spent 6 figures, some 7 figures. Now, if they're putting in 7 figures, how much you think they're making? Okay. So I'm just saying, but you're going to have to invest. The question is, what's worthy of being invested in, and where God has called you to invest in. So I think that's so important. I hear it saddens me some when I see queens and they're just like they're only looking for free, and that so bothers me. It's like, are you really serious? So I'm not saying yes we are free in Jesus Christ. That does not mean that everything you get is going to be free, baby. I tell people, I used to tell people, because I have an ordained minister, I would say, look, salvation is free, but the ministry costs. It costs to have these 4 walls, that community you drinking, the people watching your little children. I mean, like, it costs to have these things. So the salvation, the word is free, but it costs to run this building and everything that goes along with it. Well, guess what? It's the same thing. Your message of hope to women across the world and how to overcome and to break free from the baggage, the bondage, that's free. But it costs to package that and get that through Canila Gist, because it's her time, her effort, her energy, her wisdom, her experiences, her education level, all of those things and her connections being poured into you. So, Queen, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to invest in myself so that I can get to a place where I can achieve at a high sustaining level? We don't want you just to succeed. We want you to succeed sustainably, meaning not just a win for the month and then the next 11 months is trash. We want each month to grow and to build, like this queen said. So I love that, Queen. So anything you can share in regards to, coming up in November, December, into the new year that you're working on? I know some of the queens had some things that were private, they couldn't share yet. They had contracts and they was being all fancy. But any upcoming projects that you can share, think about November as they're watching this, that you can share with the queens?
Yes, I could say in November, I will still be doing my clothing line. I will be traveling a lot more of Your Story Matters, and you guys can catch it on my website at www.yourstorymattersonline.com, and make sure you click the shop button as well. I also plan on having a vision board party before this year end, December of this year. I don't know yet if it's going to be virtual or it's going to be in my hometown, to be able to give that to other people. Because I know if God did it for me, I want to be a blessing to other people. And that we all can share our stories and how our unique gifts can make room for us. Because without a vision, you don't have anything. You don't have a plan. Like I tell people all the time, you have to, set goals weekly so you can achieve your goals. And looking at a vision board, I look at my vision board every day, and I can only say why I'm looking at it now is that everything is crossed off. I'm a leader. I've done everything that I want to do. I done travel already. So I'm a firm believer of speaking affirmations and having a vision board party. So I really, in my heart, would like to have a vision board party before this year end. And also, I will still have a 21-day affirmation book that will transition in December. So when people are going into the new year, they could be able, to fast, pray, and seek God for answers they may need to seek for themselves.
That's so good, Queen. I love it. I love it. I love it. I am a huge proponent of vision boards. I host vision boards. I participated in vision boards. And it hits different when you have something in front of your face that you can actually see as a reminder. Now, it means nothing if you don't do it. You got to do it. People skip that piece. It would seem like that makes sense, but they find a way to skip it. Faith without works is dead. So it's great if you see it. It's great if you say it. But if you don't do it, it's just going to be just another piece of paper on the wall or another board that you have in the corner. You've actually got to put in the work and get connected and get collaborated. As we close out, what would you say is maybe the biggest 1 to 2 tips outside of God? Because we know you're a woman of faith. I'm a woman of faith. Many of the women are. So I know, and I don't even mean outside of him. It's just assume that he's at the foundation, period. But outside of that piece, what would be the top 2 biggest takeaways? So think about all the 2020 as we wrap it up. What are the 2 biggest takeaways that you learned about yourself and about other people that you want to share with the women all over the world that are watching this today?
I would say have crazy faith. I've been saying that all year, crazy faith. Do something you ain't never done before because you can do it. Yes, at first it may be uncomfortable stepping into something new, trying different things that may work for you. It may not work for you, but you got to find out who you are. Stay true to who you are because a lot of people lose themselves during the process. That would be what I would say. And for the woman who can, all the women who can take away from this, persevere, keep being consistent at what you do, connect to the right people, always have, the spirit of discernment, of observation, do your research, like I said before, do your research and go for it. You can do it no matter, like I spoke today on my social media, life may give you limits sometimes, but it's up to you to get back up. Remember, your story matters. You have the power to rewrite your story every week. It's up to you if you want to stay stuck. That's up to you, but you have to learn how to get up and get out and keep walking. You may have to crawl before you walk, but you can get there. You can do it. Keep going and stay strong.
Yes, I love it, Queen. Spoken from a true queen, y'all. I know this to be so. Many of these things that this queen has spoken, so it's not just her speaking it. I have seen it with the whites of my own eyes. So I'm incredibly proud of you and just the woman God has created you to be and where you're going. And eyes have not seen and ears have not heard what God has in store for you. And I'm just excited to be like, I know her. Ain't no shame in my game, honey. I don't. I can give it to you 2 ways. I tell folks I give it to you 2 ways. The Lord says you have not because you ask not. And the hood says closed mouths don't get fed. And so I can give you either one. I'm no shame in my game. That's a huge tip to my success is that, no matter what people think or how fabulous or what I really don't care. It's what God says about me and what I believe him to say. But there's a level of humility that is in my heart that is just like, I can learn from anybody. I mean, literally. So I have my nose ain't up to nobody. It ain't down to nobody. I don't think I'm better than nobody, but ain't nobody better than me neither, baby. So that's just, okay. So that's the way I roll, and I know who my daddy is. So I just love what you're doing, where you're going. I'm honored to even be in the arena with you to encourage each other, because I tell my queens, it's not just me encouraging you. I mean, I do my part, but you're encouraging me. That's what the Bible means when we spur each other on. So seeing you win encourages me to continue to move forward, even though I want to quit. Like, but dang, Canila did it. Okay, Lord, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get right. And vice versa, right? And just that's the way we got to do. So I pray that you're picking up all these clues. Fabulous. Tell them how they can follow you, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, if you got a TikTok, PikPok, whatever. How can they stay connected with you, Queen, so that way they can get books, they can get merchandise, they can find out about your speaking engagement. What's the best way to get in your face?
Yes, ma'am. So you guys can find me on Facebook. Canila is Love Gives. So my name is spelled CANILAISLOVE. Then you put Gifts. You can find me on Facebook like that. And on Instagram, it's Canila is Love. Pretty much everything is Canila is Love. On Twitter, it's Canila is Love. Instagram is Canila is Love, but it's CANILAISLUV. Nobody in the world has my name, so it's easy to find me. I've heard people say they Google me and my name pop up with everything. Nobody in the world has my name. And you guys can find me at Your Story Matters, so www.yourstorymattersonline.com. You guys will find me there. You see all the awesome things I have done this year. I've been a trailblazer, a go-getter, and my bio is already like piling up with different things starting from I think July or June. It's been piling up every month. I have seen it grow so far, so it's trailblazing. and it's out there. So you guys come check me out. I'm already on 200 affiliates. Fox 28, Digital Journal, TMZ, People Magazine, Sheen Magazine, and so much more. And you guys will see the episode, Oprah Ambassador Nikki Rich. We did an interview. It's been phenomenal. I've been hearing great comments about it. So it's a lot more to come. This only just the beginning.
Come on, Queen. And there you have it. Y'all, please. I know you're at home wherever you're watching this, but give it up for my girl, Canila. Just, yes.
Yay!
I love it. You did such a fantastic job. I'm so sad again because we are at the end of this episode. This lets me know, like, my brain is already spinning like the little hamster in a wheel because each queen has been phenomenal, dropped so many nuggets, golden gems that I know that people want more. How I know they want more? Because I want more. So if I want more, I know you want more. So I'll be cooking up something. Don't worry. I'm going to get you in the game. Check it out. It's been your girl, Minister Nakita Davis, the proud CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. And you have just wrapped up another amazing episode of Success Leaves Clues with my girl, Canila. Gist of your story matters. We love y'all. God bless y'all. And we'll see you next time. Bye.